Will Caitlyn Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
Angel Reese is breaking so many records. The WNBA can't keep up. Seriously, they're running out of space on their promo materials to list all her achievements. That's how insane she's playing right now. But you know what's even crazier? The way she's turning the Indiana Fever from underdogs to top dogs. Let's talk about this for a sec. The Fever? They've been stuck in a playoff drought since 2016. That's 7 long years of disappointment. But then Angel shows up and boom, everything changes. She's not just putting up numbers, she's changing the whole vibe of the team. But here's where it gets wild. There's another rookie making waves, and her name is Caitlyn Clark. These two, they're shaking up the WNBA like never before.
You gotta guard somebody. You gotta guard somebody. But from even the worst team in the WNBA right now, there's talent on that roster.
The rivalry between them is heating up. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. It's not just basketball anymore, it's a whole new game. Hold up though. While we're all caught up in this rookie rivalry, something bigger is happening. The Indiana Fever, once the WNBA's forgotten child, are now stealing headlines. How did one player turn a 7-year losing streak into a full-blown basketball revolution? Let's rewind to 2016. The Indiana Fever were stuck in a playoff drought that seemed endless. 7 years of disappointment, 7 years of being the team nobody talked about. Fans were losing hope, and the energy around the team was, well, let's just say it wasn't exactly electric. But then, like a bolt from the blue, Angel Reese stepped onto the court, and just like that, everything changed. You know how some players just have that it factor?
What happened?
Okay. Not on the right team? Like one of them bottom feeding teams that
So to answer that question, Caitlyn Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game. Will Caitlyn Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
That's Angel. She's not just putting up crazy numbers, she's bringing an energy, a charisma that's infectious. When Angel's on the court, you can't take your eyes off her. She's not just playing the game, she's owning it. But here's the thing, Angel's impact goes way beyond the stats sheet. She's changing the whole culture of the team. The Fever used to play like they were afraid to lose. Now, they're playing like they expect to win. That confidence, that's all Angel. And the fans, they're feeling it too. The stands are filling up again. People are wearing Fever jerseys with pride. There's a buzz around the team that hasn't been there in years. It's like Angel didn't just join a team, she started a movement. Think about it. One player comes in, and suddenly a team that was at the bottom of the league is all anyone can talk about. That's not just good basketball, that's a straight-up revolution. But here's where it gets really interesting. Angel's not just changing the Fever, she's changing how we think about the WNBA. She's proving that one player with the right attitude and skills can transform an entire franchise.
Well, y'all don't get they don't get to stand on the number one?
I said she might, but I'm
number one pick. This is my team. They don't get to do that over there, huh?
She's showing young girls watching at home that they can be game changers too. While Angel Reese is changing the game with her attitude, another player is rewriting the record books with her insane scoring. But there's a catch that's got everyone debating. Is she really the best scorer in history, or did she just get lucky with an extra year? Enter Caitlyn Clark, the scoring sensation who's got basketball fans losing their minds. This girl is on fire, putting up numbers that make you rub your eyes and check the stats twice. She's closing in on Kelsey Plum's all-time scoring record, and she's making it look easy. But here's where things get spicy. Clark's got an extra year of eligibility thanks to COVID-19. Some folks are saying it's not fair to compare her to players who only had 4 years. It's like giving Usain Bolt a head start in the 100-meter dash. Is it really a fair race? Now, don't get me wrong, Clark's talent is undeniable. She's not just scoring. She's revolutionizing how we think about women's basketball. Her court vision is off the charts, and her ability to create plays is next level. She's got that magic touch that turns good teams into great ones. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark and Reese might both be changing the game, but they're doing it in totally different ways. Reese is all about that fierce energy, that in-your-face intensity that fires up her team and the crowd. Clark, she's more like a chess master, always 3 moves ahead, picking apart defenses with surgical precision. Their impact on their teams is night and day. Reese turned the Fever from underdogs to top dogs overnight. Clark, on the other hand, has transformed her college team into a well-oiled machine. It's like watching 2 different styles of leadership in action. But the million-dollar question is, can Clark bring this same magic to the WNBA? College ball is one thing, but the pros? That's a whole different ballgame. Some folks are already saying she'll revolutionize the league. Others, they're not so sure. One thing's for certain though, Clark is changing how we think about women's basketball. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Every time she steps on the court, records tremble and highlight reels start rolling. Clark's changing the game, but she's not alone. There's a rivalry brewing that's turning heads and raising eyebrows across the league. What happens when 2 of the most talented players in women's basketball history go head-to-head? It's not just a game anymore, it's a revolution. Reese and Clark are like fire and ice on the court. Reese brings that fierce energy, in-your-face intensity that lights up the arena. Clark, she's cool, calculated, always 3 steps ahead. It's like watching a bulldozer take on a chess master. Both unstoppable in their own way. This rivalry isn't just about who scores more points or gets more rebounds. It's about 2 completely different approaches to the game. Reese is all about that raw athleticism, dominating the paint and making opponents think twice before driving to the hoop. Clark, on the other hand, is a sharpshooter with court vision that's off the charts. She'll pick apart a defense before they even know what hit them. And you know what? The fans are eating it up. Every time these 2 face off, it's like the whole basketball world stops to watch. Social media goes crazy, tickets sell out in minutes, and everyone's got an opinion on who's going to come out on top. But here's the thing, it's not just fans getting caught up in the hype. Other players are watching too, and they're feeling a mix of jealousy and straight up admiration. Some are trying to up their game to keep up, while others are just enjoying the show. Remember that game last season when Reese and Clark went head-to-head? The energy in that arena was electric. Reese was dominating the paint, grabbing every rebound in sight, but then Clark started hitting those long-range threes, each one more impossible than the last. The lead kept changing hands, and you could feel the tension building with every possession. It's moments like these that are changing everything. This rivalry isn't just good for Reese and Clark, it's good for the whole WNBA. More eyes on the game mean more fans, more sponsorships, more opportunities for everyone. These 2 aren't just competing against each other, they're pushing the entire sport forward. And you know what's really wild? This is just the beginning. Reese and Clark are still young, still developing their games. Imagine what this rivalry is going to look like in a few years. They're not just playing basketball, they're redefining what's possible in women's sports. Let's talk about how Reese and Clark are changing the game. These 2 aren't just breaking records, they're shattering expectations. The WNBA is seeing a surge in viewership like never before. Remember that South Carolina versus LSU game? It beat the NBA in ratings. That's insane, but it's not just about the numbers. These players are bringing a whole new energy to women's basketball. Cheryl Swoops said it best. Good basketball is good basketball. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Reese and Clark aren't just playing the game, they're redefining it. They're showing young girls everywhere that they can be superstars too. So here's the deal. If you're not watching the WNBA, you're missing out on history in the making. These women are changing the sport forever. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second of it.